getting access to games early, especially when it's the game that you competitively play, and then posting it on your Twitter when you know judges and people like that follow you and stuff like that, probably not a good idea.
Judges hiding people that are hacking their game. Welcome back, Wolfpack. Formal Verlis here today. Just showing off a Christmas gift for my family. Unfortunately, I can't wear my dad's because green screen does not play well with the Bulba family, but still pretty nice. And I feel like we need to get fancy today if we're going to be addressing ourselves to official Pokemon tournament organizers. And my goodness, we are in for a good video because they have no idea what they're talking about, and they're like defending hackers and stuff, and it's amazing. So I'm not going to go straight into their full video just yet because there's also some Twitter stuff to talk about. But let's just set up a little bit of a taste right here. Also, I'm not used to doing this because like this is like screen capture for the video, so hopefully everything looks nice. But yeah, just listen to this. So they're defending the RNG method.
Again, if you want to get really purist in it, and I'm sure that there are people in chat right now that know examples of this. Your IVs are not numbers that we're supposed to know either.
So these guys like addressing me by name, like Verlis video and Verlis attacking people and stuff like that. So it seems like they're trying to spin this as like me being a hypocrite because, I know about IVs and I do IV guides and stuff, but I'm still saying that, RNG is against the rules. And the reason why I say this is because I emailed the Pokemon company, back in the 5th generation when I saw this blowing up, and I got several responses. My friends, we all made sure like we were doing the right thing and stuff, and they just say like, no, RNG, we do not deem this as like a legitimate method for Pokemon. And that is the only reason why I am like, hey, this is not official. I've been to events, I've asked the judges there like, hey, I don't RNG, but if I did, it does sound a little sketchy when you're saying it like that, but pretty much every time I said that, they were like, no, we will punish you if we find out that your RNG method. I'm like, okay, cool. So that's why I hold that. So that now we're seeing a lot of inconsistencies already. They have Pokemon tournament officials, like in their video, they're like, oh yeah, you can do this, and there's no way of telling that's hacked, so we're kind of okay with it. But if you use IVs, they're trying to turn me into a hypocrite. However, I've got them covered right here, guys. So this little beauty, which is also being green screen, is the official Pokedex for Pokemon Heart Gold and Soul Silver. It's even like the Pokemon Company International logo. We got the official strategy guide. And in the official strategy guide, they talk about IVs. Right here, we have, for anyone that owns this for themselves, I don't know if I can like get it to show up on the camera really well. Page 139. Inheritance items that can be held by Pokemon at the daycare. The power weight passes the user's base hit HP onto Pokemon who hatches from the egg. So they're talking about, like in this book, they have different terms. Instead of calling it a sweeper, they call it a striker. So, we don't have like official terms for like EVs and IVs and stuff. They just call them like values and stats and stuff. So when they reference base HP in this book, they do it several times. They're talking about the base stats as well as the IVs. So if you want to take the IV, this value that we shouldn't know anything about, we shouldn't know anything about this. If we take it from the official hand guide, we can see that we can actually learn about IV training through this method. Also, I don't know anywhere in this book where it says go to www.pokemonrng.com to download the official RNG seed. That way you can get shiny, legendary, perfect IV Pokemon all day long. I just don't see it, guys. I'm very sorry I couldn't really bring that information to you like that. So, there's a lot of inconsistency right here. And the idea is, oh, if you know about IVs, that's bad. But, you can't determine RNG without these programs, pretty much. Like, to get the perfect Pokemon that you're looking for, you need the programs. They effectively admit that in this video. So, when it comes to IVs, even if we didn't have the strategy guide, that's very discernible. You go out, catch level 15 Rattata, you catch level 15 Rattata. Can't even find level 15, I don't know. Either way, you go out and catch them, and then you notice they have different stats. And then the community goes, holy crap, guys, what's going on with these stats? We need to figure out what's going on with these stats. And then everyone kind of gets their stats together, and then IVs are born. There's a cap, there's a floor. All of this can be determined without the use of hacking devices. I don't understand why they're trying to make it all oogie boogie just to turn me into a hypocrite. This is gonna be a good video. Ooh, I didn't think it was possible. I didn't think that we were going to have a VGC video better than yesterday's where I expose a top 16 Worlds player for cheating. But here we have a tournament organizer defending hackers, and it's so beautiful. Tired of these Verlis videos targeting VGC players tournament organizers. Well, the reason why I had to target Pokemon Labs is because they streamed a blatantly impossible Pokemon. It was an absolute failure on their part, and there is no defending that. Anyone with the slightest shred of game knowledge, especially if you're a judge, you should be trained and you should be on the lookout for impossibilities like this, especially suspicious Pokemon as well. So not doing anything about it, that's pretty bad. It also looks like no punishment has been done by either the tournament organizer or the Pokemon company, so this top Worlds player continues to hack on. So that's what they're saying, like, oh, apparently it's me targeting for enforcing the rules. Do us all a favor. Breed your Mons in Pokeballs. Breed your Mons in Pokeballs. Breed your Mons in Pokeballs. Y'all want streams? Help out your TO so they're not target of this guy. Thanks. I can't comprehend this tournament organizer right now pretty much just saying, you can hack, just don't get caught because then it makes us look bad. Don't make us look bad by hacking. We don't want to enforce the rules. Just don't make it look like you're breaking the rules to begin with. And then we have the responses that are amazing in the comments section. I saw a couple of people stating that they won't ever play VGC competitively because of stuff he said. It may not be the main issue, but VGC could be a lot bigger now if it wasn't for Verlis. No, that's just wrong. And then they agree. Definitely doesn't help us attract new players, that's for sure. I think what's deterring new players is that blatantly on stream, people are cheating and then the tournament organizers defend them. And there is no punishment. It is not known. There is no vocal kind of, there's no vocal, there's no announcement, there's nothing that makes it known that players that are cheating are being punished. We see the opposite, which is, like, that's what's driving players away. Also, the elitism. I mean, I already showed that there was either an international or regional, so a high-tier VGC event, where one of the players assaulted another one over a move. They disagreed with the Pokemon's moveset, so they kicked their chair, grabbed them by the hair, and then put them in an arm lock. Yeah, because that's something that, you know, we just need to cover up. We just need to cover up how aggressive VGC players are towards each other, that they're doxing each other for information. I don't want to play and train to get good at Pokemon just to get doxed and cheated against, and apparently that's not the community's problem. That's not the tournament organizer's problem. That's not the Pokemon company's problem. That's my problem. It's my fault that I am showing all of the problems going in, and instead of changing it, you blame me for VGC going downhill. Coming from a tournament organizer instead of want to seek change. So, I mean, this just going down this is all, just beautiful. No, the point I'm trying to make is that y'all need to make sure you're bringing to the tournament is legal. Tired of people getting called out on streams for this kind of thing. It makes us all look bad. This is coming from a judge. The judge is just saying, don't make it look like you're hacking. And that they look bad for not enforcing. That's right, guys. That's right, guys. If you don't look like you're cheating, that means the judges don't look bad for not enforcing the rules because they don't care about enforcing the rules. And this is going to be at a mid-season showdown. Whew, okay, and then, like, one thing I am feeling bad about, though, is, unfortunately, I love Joe Merrick, man. The guy behind Cerebi, he has so much good information, so much insight into news. I use him a lot, and I reference him a lot in my videos, and I honestly feel really bad about this now, because people hate me and my ideas so much that they're also starting to accuse Joe Merrick of being, like, a mini Verlis, so they get mad at him when all we want is the same thing. I haven't done anything wrong. No one can even show or point or prove that I've done anything wrong except for wanting the rules to be enforced. Maybe just a little too strongly, but I think that that's kind of fair considering we're trying to have a competitive environment. That you don't see people going, yeah, he aimbotted, he's vac banned, but we're gonna let him in on our tournament anyways. No, when you get shut down, like in CSGO or something, you're gone. When you get caught cheating, you're gone. You might be able to come back in a couple of years, but you don't get a slap on the wrist or they don't look the other way. And I think Pokemon, to be taken as a serious competitive environment, should be no different. So Joe Merrick, he just points out the rules, and then people haunt on him. You know, you're literally contributing to that fear factor by just saying, not defending him, but wouldn't a better statement be follow Rule 4.1? Until that is rescinded, that should be the advice we give players above all else. Exactly. We have Joe Merrick telling a judge how to judge Pokemon. Because is it so hard to follow the rules? Is it so hard to just say, don't hack your game and don't use illegally manipulated Pokemon? And then, like, people are attacking Joe Merrick on my behalf because because apparently now Pokemon legality, legitimate Pokemon play, official play that has no hacking had just been tied into a negative stigma around me. And that's another reason. Like, people see me saying, hey kids, don't cheat, and then me getting attacked, and that's why people don't want to play VGC. Because the players that are playing legitimately get attacked by the players that are hacking that are being defended by these judges. But it gets better, guys. It gets better. So, I went on to a live stream. So yeah, I looked up Liberty VGC, much like how I found Pokemon Labs. Like, I looked up Pokemon Labs Twitter, or not Twitter, yeah, I did like Twitter, and then I went to their Twitch, and I was able to find the VODs, and that's how I was able to find the Hacked Incineroar. So I looked up Liberty Garden, and like all their Pokemon events, and they recently did a podcast about hacking. And oh my god, this is maybe one of the most infuriating things for a legitimate Pokemon player to ever watch. That we have judges joking about cheating their game. We have judges joking and defending hacked players. And if you don't believe me, let's go and watch the video. Okay, so I've gone through and I've taken some clips from the podcast that they did, and I'm just gonna like go through it, pause, react as needed. I don't have the full live stream. It's like an hour and 30 minutes. I only have like 5-6 minutes of clips, so we're still gonna be here for a while. But everything they say, it just gets worse and worse, and I don't understand how.
And maybe understand why some of them kind of give up or throw in the towel and, you know, are seduced by the easy mode of hacking, so that, you know, you understand, all right, it's not boo-hoo the poor players, but it's more like understand the reasoning behind it so that we can be a little bit more, not sympathetic, but kind of not judgmental. You know, we don't want to go out there and be another Verlis. And so it says in there, right there, these things are expressly forbidden. Yes, people still do it. But they're, you know, why are they doing it and how are they doing it? That's kind of the goal of what we're doing here. And
it's so hard to react to things like this. Your job is being a judge. It is your job to be judgmental. Like, there's so much cognitive dissonance in this entire thing. You could tell that they're like, well, we need to represent Pokemon, so we can't be blatant about us, like, looking the other way at cheating. But we don't want to come down hard on all these players that we know are cheating. So how do we do this? And it's so back and forth. Like, there's almost no consistency in this video. And they already mentioned my name. So, I mean, they mentioned my name in tweets. They mentioned my name several times in this video. You know, don't be like Verlis. Don't actually be against cheating in the game, says the Pokemon tournament official. What? You know, that's why I don't get it. And then it's like, oh, we can't be harsh. We need to be sympathetic. We need to understand why these guys are... Pokemon's a hard game. We understand that you don't want to spend like 10 hours to make a team. So we're just not going to be mean about it. You know, we're not going to be the people that are like, hey, you know, hacking's wrong. You know, this isn't me slandering them or misrepresenting them. You can watch the video for yourselves. You can watch what I'm showing right here. These are clips they're saying. They're not out of context. Because they even say, like, oh, I'm going to end up in the next Verlis video if I'm not correct about this. It's like, you're making yourself look bad, you know?
Shit, I've already failed. I'm no good at this undercover crap.
Welcome to the 13th episode of the Poke Stew. Tonight, we will be discussing hacking and all kinds of other things.
We're under witness protection.
You know it's not a good thing when you turn hacking into a joke.
Alright.
Because we definitely don't want anybody to get the wrong idea with this stream. This is definitely not us saying that these things are okay, and I am going to try very hard not to even jokingly say anything like that.
See, this is what I mean. Like, they're trying to just say the BS stuff that's like, see, Verlis is slandering us. Verlis is attacking us and misrepresenting us and stuff like that. But then, like, you know, earlier, like, that was actually played, like, in order. So they led the stream by covering their identity. Hacking is bad. We can't be caught with hacking. Look at how much of a joke hacking is, guys. You know, these are officials, you know, turning the whole hacking argument into a joke. Already using my name in bad light, saying that I'm a bad person for wanting legitimacy in Pokemon. And then they're like, oh, but we can't be joking.
Because I do not need it to be a clip in the next Verlis video.
See, and that's another thing. They put the pretense in. Like, see, Verlis is just looking to attack us, looking to slander us. So we're just going to be this next clip in the Verlis video when don't worry, you guys are being clip worthy enough without mentioning that. They're pretty much what they're trying to do is they're setting up that defense. Like, people that hate me, it's like, see, he's being unfair. But people with any brain cells in their head are going to look at that and be like, this doesn't make any sense. They have no, there's no continuity in what they're saying. Everything, like I said, this is the cognitive dissonance. It's all back and forth. There's no consistency, guys.
At all.
There are other games on the 3DS.
Yes, I'm gonna hack my DS for Animal Crossing. God, that's going on the Verlus video, isn't
Only because you said it. Good try, though.
it?
And then joking about it.
There's so many things that like we want to talk about, but like we're being really thoughtful in how we bring these topics up. So you may see me like stumble or stutter tonight, only because I'm kind of
Cautious.
We have a lot more.
Cautious. They're playing both sides. Like, see, here's the problem. When you're talking about cheating as an official Pokemon like representative, you know, like they said, like, see, I even included the clip where they're like, you know, the Pokemon, this isn't an exact representation of the Pokemon community. This is their own beliefs. However, they do work for Pokemon. They do represent Pokemon. So that's where we start getting into some dissonance issues as well. And then they have to be careful about what they say because they don't want their real opinions to come out too much. They still need to have that, you know, upfront, official, hacking's wrong kind of thing. But then they have to, because their own bias is here, they have to take that little bit of extra step. They have to censor themselves. They have to be weary of what they are saying instead of just being like, hacking's wrong. And like, look, okay, also, I can't believe I didn't already talk about this. Oh, wow, I can actually utilize the green screen right here. I wasn't playing, I just want to have my face in the video. But I mean, look at all this. You see? Wait, let me go this way. You see all this over here? See all that? Look, this is an official judge using the legal, illegal, legit. Actually, wait, never mind. I think I have a clip for that.
More knowledge than
I just realized, I think I talked about this later.
To share solely because we don't want people to see it as us teaching you how to do these things. It's more of us saying, this is kind of what's possible. We want you to be a little bit more open-minded, that kind of stuff. So
you can
be open-minded about hacking, guys. Coming from the Pokemon people over here. Now that's another thing that's really upset me, is because they're like, well, we're not going to go into detail. We know things you don't know about this hacking thing. We know all the ins and outs. You don't understand what's going on behind the scenes. Verlus doesn't understand what's going on behind the scenes when it comes to what the judges are doing about hacking in Pokemon. And we see this in the Pokemon Company responses that, you know, I've shown several videos where I send a question to the Pokemon Company. They get back and they say, we're not allowed to talk about the hack check. We're not allowed to talk about this. When really all they're doing by doing this is protecting the hackers. Because if they said this information, then that means the populace, other people, would know what to look for and would be able to identify hackers easier. So they're not protecting legitimate players from learning about hacking because everyone knows about it. They even admit in this video, they're like, the number one thing that everyone knows about is PK Hex. Or maybe they don't quote unquote say that verbatim, but they're like, you know, PK Hex is the big one. That's a specific one for Pokemon hacking. They even tell you how to RNG in this video. That was like the clip from earlier that they were telling you how to RNG in the 7th generation. I didn't even know that there was RNGing in the 7th generation, so I learned how to hack from these Pokemon officials. Thank you very much, guys. But yeah, so it seems like they're doing that to obfuscate it. Same thing with the Pokemon Company. I got the Pokemon Company, I got an official response from customer support saying that if you have a hacked parent Pokemon and a legitimate parent Pokemon and you breed them, the child is illegal. You cannot use any offspring, the result of hacked Pokemon, and that goes back to rule 4.1. No use of modified Pokemon or devices at any point. It doesn't matter if it's the great-great-great-great-great-great-grandparents' Pokemon. If there's a hack in the lineage, it's all bad. Because Pokemon doesn't want you hacking their game. They don't want you cheating. Big surprise. So here they are doing that. Instead of giving us the information to be pseudo-judges in ourselves and understand what to look for and what to be wary of when it comes to hacking, they're protecting the hackers as we've seen on Twitter and in other parts of this video.
Change the region of the 3DS as you go down the line, and if you have if you can switch your console's region from like US to Japanese, you can play in the Japanese Wi-Fi tournaments. You can play in all those fun Japan only stuff. I remember back in Gen 5 and even in Gen 6, Japan got all these Wi-Fi tournaments that America was like, well, we got 4 international challenges, but they get the Dragons Only Cup or something stupid that we never got. But if you outside of actually owning a Japanese 3DS and a Japanese cartridge, you don't get to play in any of that.
yeah.
So they're also like just kind of the reason why they did this. So let me actually go and give context for the video so I'm not misrepresenting them at all. So the reason why I did this, also I guess it proves I actually watched it, because for some reason I take clips, I watch the entire video, take clips, commentary over them, then the comment section says you didn't watch the video. It's like, well then how would I have found this specific clip? It's not like I'm randomly just clicking around and I find only the gotcha moments. No, I've watched the entire video, I stay informed, and then they just make themselves look bad. It's not me misrepresenting them or anything like that. So what they do is they say the reasons why people hack, and one of them is region unlocking. Well, I mean, you still shouldn't be modifying your DS anyways, but with this one, look how fun it is, guys. Isn't it just fun to hack your game? He even says it's fun. You get to do all the fun Japanese stuff. You can do their superior, like, personal opinion, it's superior, because they do, like, all their international challenges and their qualifications online and stuff, so you don't have to do the stupid regional points, whatever. But yeah, so it looks good. That made me want to go out and then go and hack my 3DS, coming from the Pokemon tournament organizer.
So if you go down this road, you can do stuff like that and
if I go down the hacking road, I get all the fun stuff, guys.
play in the Japan only Wi-Fi tournaments. I kind of have something I want to add on that too. I'm sure everyone who was on the internet knows a few weeks ago a pretty highly anticipated game leaked a few days early, and I just want to make you guys in chat well aware of something.
Oh yeah, guys. This is the best part. This made me legitimately angry. I want to hype you up as much as I'm hyped to go on this next piece.
Please do not tweet out that you are going to get it and then post pictures of your DS. That is illegal. Do not do that.
Oh boy.
Please don't do that. I'm not calling any names out. Just don't do it.
So
it is illegal.
I'm glad TJ brought that up. Like, getting access to games early, especially when it's the game that you competitively play, and then posting it on your Twitter when judges and people like that follow you and stuff like that, probably not a good idea.
Judges hiding people that are hacking their game. Do we need any other evidence right there? Because we have one that's saying it's illegal. It's pirate. They're like saying like this is bad. Like not even like illegal in Pokemon, but illegal to pirate things. And then they say like, oh, Nintendo probably, for the most part, Nintendo isn't known for going after people, but still don't do it. So like, oh wait, so you're saying I shouldn't do it, but if Nintendo's not going to punish me, then so they say that at another point in this. But then it's like they're admitting like they're seeing competitive not professional, but they're seeing top tier VGC players tweeting about getting the pirated game, tweeting about having a hacked DS, showing pictures of their hacked DS and their hacked games, and they look the other way. And I've seen this. There was another video I did. I don't remember who it was. And I'm going to look back after I'm editing this video, and if it's relevant, I might just splice it in right here. But there were people talking about hacking, and a judge came in and said, hey, I'm a judge. I don't want to see this. Oh wait, it's very important because I went back, found the video, and guess what? It's the same TO. We're talking about Jen. She gets tagged in a discussion about how to hack Pokemon. Do you really want to be discussing how to Gen Mons on Twitter while tagging a TO? Or better yet, don't talk about cheating on Twitter. She just says, just take your cheating elsewhere so I don't have to see it and enforce the rules. This is consistent behavior, yet she's still a TO. I think during the podcast they talk about how she's working like high-level events, and then she's also organizing a mid-season showdown while just covering up all the hacking, just ignoring, looking at the other way as an official you can't make this up. It's amazing. Instead of being like, okay, ban. Like, that's what that should be. If you see someone that has a hacked 3DS that is illegally pirating the game, and you are a judge, you do not just go, I like these guys, these VGC people, they're tying the community together. Please don't do it, guys. Don't make me do my job. Like, this angered me the first time I watched it to just unbelievable amounts, because this is all that we need. I've been saying, like, there's bad eggs, there's collusion, there's all kinds of corruption going on in the Pokemon community, and what else do you need to know than that right there, where they're just saying, like, we're watching people hack, but we just refuse to enforce it. Like, that should be a 2-year ban minimum. Because, okay, sure, like, I think, like, permabanning people, as much as I feel like it should be the right thing to do, morally it's not right, There is a chance for reform, just keep an extra eye on them, and then, maybe they change or something like that. We just need rules to be enforced, and this is why hacking is so prevalent. This is why people don't want to play Pokemon, because the judges are just looking out for the higher players. The top tier players, it's just done like that. Like, I don't even know what else to say about that. Like, they're just covering for each other. And I think we can move on. I think you guys understand. If I go on this, I'm going to just be saying the same thing for the next 5 minutes. Like, how is this even possible? How are you organizing a tournament that is about to take place? How are you a judge? How are you trying to speak for Pokemon legitimacy when you are watching players hack their game and they do nothing about it?
Please watch what you post online. There's a great post on GBA Temp about not associating your name with cartridge dumps.
And then they tell you how to hack and not get caught.
Don't do it. I told you guys before we went live. I was given this chart in 2012.
Here we go. Now we get to talk about the chart.
And I have had it saved to my laptop ever since. I think it's one of the most useful infographics I've ever been given. If it could ever exist, no matter how rare the circumstances, it's legal.
Yes. So, we have this guy saying that this is one of the most useful charts to ever exist. Okay? And anyone that is a legitimate player knows that this is the biggest lie ever told in Pokemon. That there are 2 circles. There's not 3, there's not 2 circles with a circle inside of it. There's 2 circles. Illegal and legit or legal. Like legal, wipe out legal and then replace legit with legal. That's it. There's illegal and legal. Those are the only 2 things that exist. Because of Rule 4.1, the second any modification touches your Pokemon, it's illegal. It's done. It's against the rules. It's cheating. It's done. It's cheating. Done. How many times do I have to say that? It's in the Pokemon Company official rules. How do people argue this? How are judges arguing this? Because, okay, being able to naturally exist in a game given the right circumstances, and feasibility of circumstances is irrelevant when talking about legality. So they're also trying to, like, change this one around because then they say, like, oh, no matter how hacked your team looks, we can't do anything as long as it's in the legal bubble. But that's 4.1 exists for a different reason. 4.1 exists to try to find, I'm sorry, I'm like holding back a burp right now. 4.1 exists to find, where the modification is. That if your team has high suspicion of being modified, that should be it right there. And then also, like, I understand that's not just these guys' fault. That's also the Pokemon Company for not having good enough hack check and not really enforcing the rules, not enforcing, people like this from running wild and representing their game. Actually, I should probably, people like this from running wild and representing the game. I need to get used to how to use the screen. But my goodness, like, they're lying to competitive players or want to be competitive players, or they're misinforming the higher ups when it comes to competitive Pokemon by saying that this is actually the most useful thing, that this is amazing, that this is what we need to live by, even though anyone that follows the rules and looks at Pokemon legality, this is not how it is, that the second it's modified, even if it looks legal, even if it is possible, it is not legit and it is not legal. This is, like, one of the things that pisses me. Like, as much as, like, he worships this, and, like, I have the complete opposite feelings towards this graph right here.
So, as a judge, as I'm going through your battle team, and every single Pokemon is shiny with perfect IVs.
That's a face of someone that doesn't give a fuck about hacking.
It's illegal.
You had a dime under your control stick in Lumosity.
That's a shortcut.
That's a shortcut.
Is that technically modding your DS? Putting the dime in there?
Yes. Under
Shut
section
up.
2.2, yes.
No! That's just so, again, I think it's all, Verlis did that video, so we need to make it look like he's the hypocrite that doesn't understand the rules. And we have the guy that's coming in, he's quoting the rules, he's marking it, he's making a judging claim. A dime is against 2.2. He doesn't understand the old rules. Like, this is what happened to me back when I went to regionals. I don't remember, was it 2013 Colorado Springs regionals where I did my Dunsparce thing and people didn't understand what timer song was? Like, the rules were being broken. They just didn't know what to do about the rules being broken. The rules aren't being broken, but the guy's like, well, for us to look good, the rules need to be broken right here. So we have someone that's kind of like, not modifying, but, rewriting based on the rules. So let me go and show what actually the rule is. Sorry if it's hard to read. The screen capture is a little weird because I'm trying to get the video in as well. But I mean, it exists. This is where you can find the Pokemon rules. I'm not photoshopping or doing any magic with this one. So you read 2.2. Players may use any system in Nintendo 3DS family. Players are responsible for keeping their system charged. Players are responsible for ensuring their game system is fully functional. Players at North American events may only use systems in North America. Players in Oceania have to use it in their respective markets. Players should ensure that game systems with which they interplay Pokemon tournaments are unmodified. So, I guess the only one I could do is 2.2.4. Players should ensure that game system in which are unmodified. But I mean, how is that a modification? How is slipping a dime or putting a piece of paper under your control stick a modification? Like, even by the definition or any understanding of the modification, it doesn't affect anything at all. Is my thumb, is my hand a modification that whenever I touch my DS, I'm illegally modifying my Pokemon? I'm illegally modifying my cartridge or my console because these hands can move the buttons? Like, it's a replacement. Like, what if, like, I don't even know how that guy can do it unless he has an agenda to make it look like what they are doing is okay and what I am doing is wrong. By just saying a dime is like, I'm not drilling the dime in. I'm not doing something to mechanically alter the DS permanently, which is a modification. I'm just done and Pokemon and level 100 Pokemon in what was it, like 10 hours at, yeah, just, and so I don't understand how they're just making up rules on the fly because you know what? It's convenient that way. Back to the video. Okay, we're almost near the end of this one.
But so those are the ones that the Pokemon Company International is intending everybody to use in our tournaments.
So he's talking about legal. Like, again, they're bringing up this illegal thing. So they're saying, like, legal, or not legal, legit. So legit Pokemon are what the rules are referencing, what is intended to be played. But here they go saying, well...
The ones we are looking for to make sure that everything falls in this legit thing. Okay? I'm going to be straight up and honest, though. As an organizer, with the hack checking tools and the manual hack checking appendix,
which is wrong. So I mean, again, this is where we fault the Pokemon Company, because I've done many videos showing that throughout the entirety of the 7th generation, the rule set has not been correct once when it comes to manual hack checking. So that's because of people like these. That's because of whoever is making the rules has no idea how competitive Pokemon works. Whoever is enforcing the hack check, whoever is doing all these other things, they don't understand competitive Pokemon because all these top players and all these officials are looking out for each other. They're creating a safe space for the hackers. And there's just... I don't understand. This is where I see corruption. This is why I say there are issues. This is why the official Pokemon competitive scene is completely spoiled from the inside.
A good hacker, if they make a legal Pokemon, I won't be able to discern between legal and legit. I mean,
everyone just nodding. Like that's a judge nodding to, if we can't tell, you can hack. And what else do you need to say?
Just straight up.
It's
Okay,
the
I ain't gonna lie. I'm not gonna
Just the
sugarcoat
facts.
it. That's the cold hard truth, especially in the digital world.
I like how they're all saying, you know, we're not giving people information, but this is why I feel like they're hiding the information that can help people like me discern hack. Like, this is also very malicious as well. That it's about me and my accusations and being attacking people and stuff for just wanting legitimate Pokemon play. But I mean, what about the uninformed kid? I feel like everyone should have access to some form of judge tools. Well, not everyone, because, okay, that's where we get into the argument where it's like, oh, but then that means the hackers can hack around what the judges work with. But I mean, at the same time, that's already happening. If it's already happened to this admitted point, to where they have all the judges just nodding in agreement, like, well, you can hack if we don't catch you. Like, that's bad. That's very bad. So what, and then they're hiding the information that's keeping players like me safe. That the person that isn't hacking their game, they need to know what to look out for. But the judge is saying, we're not telling you what to look out for, because then you go and attack the people that are hacking, and we can't have that.
Every file that exists on any computer system is just a series of ones and zeros.
And
I do not want these people representing me in Pokemon. I do not want these people representing the Pokemon Company. Because that is one of the most anti-spirit of the game, anti-spirit of Pokemon things I've ever heard. Pokemon are just ones and zeros, guys. So who should care about cheating?